Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to be joined today by Oregon State Police Sergeant Jeff Proulx, Supervisor of the Central Point Office Criminal Division. Good to see you, sir.
You too.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, so busy time right now around the holidays, and I want to talk about kind of driver tips and everything, but we've seen a lot of accidents lately, a lot of fatals. How many of them are weather-related?
A couple are probably weather-related. I haven't seen the final reports on it, but the one on 140 with that snow up there, probably due to the weather and lack of knowledge of the area. And then the one we had on I-5, it was very foggy that morning, so that may have been a contributing factor.
And of course, it's the holiday season, and with it comes the weather, as we've seen, very active week. Are most of those serious level accidents this time of year related to weather and maybe driving too fast?
We can take specific ones and say yes, and then others, we can relate to impaired driving, whether it be alcohol or marijuana or another drug, impaired driving, and we'll see some of that coming up.
Yeah, okay, and so what advice do you have for people who are traveling on the holidays, whether it's south, north, east, or west?
It's like we say every year, be prepared, plan ahead, especially if you're going to be going over mountain passes. The weather seems to have turned, and we're going to be getting some snow this weekend and some heavy rains. So just be prepared for anything that may be thrown at you. Take that extra time. If you're going to be traveling for the holiday weekends, make sure you leave early enough that if you not comfortable driving at night, make sure you leave early enough during the day to get to your destination before it gets dark. Using GPS is great, but don't rely on it 100% of the time, because sometimes it will take you an alternate route that may not be the best route for you to take. And then make sure your vehicle is ready. We've said this, ODOT says this, other agencies always say this. Make sure that your car is prepared. Make sure you have good tires on there. Make sure you have a full tank of gas. If you're traveling with children, especially, make sure that you have things for them to do, extra snacks, extra water. If you're going to be traveling those high mountain roads, make sure you have some additional clothing in case you have to get out. Make sure your vehicle is ready to put chains on, or you have the proper tires on.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Oregon State Police Sergeant Jeff Proulx, Supervisor of the Central Point Office Criminal Division. You mentioned in part one of the interview, we were talking about impaired driving. Have you guys seen in the last couple of years a big uptick in marijuana DUIs?
Some of the numbers have indicated that there is. The difficulty on that is the prosecution, getting the impairment level. There's no level like on alcohol where it's an 0.8. So where like Colorado, I believe, has a percentage of the active drug in there that indicates impairment. And I'm sure through the legislature in the next year or two, they'll have something in place. So we have to look at the impairment level. We're still getting the prosecutions through the district attorney's office. They work very well together with all the agencies in the valley, making sure that we take those cases and make sure that they're held accountable.
Okay, it seems like something we've heard from several law enforcement agencies, not necessarily yours. More troopers, more officers on the road, the higher the DUIs numbers are. You guys are looking to add patrols statewide this next year. Will that make a difference for you guys? Where are you guys at as far as that goes?
It will. The governor has put together a budget for the state police to increase our funding, which will increase our numbers. In the past, our per I believe 100,000 in population, we're about the lowest in the country, and with this new push to hire more troopers will bring us about to the middle of the road across the country. I don't have the exact numbers where we'd be, but it's going to increase troopers on the road. It's going to hopefully bring us back to 24-hour coverage like we've had in years past. And yeah, when we have more troopers on the road, we're going to be out there more, be more visible. We'll be there not only to arrest people for impaired driving. We'll be there for covering the crashes, but also have more people out there in the earlier hours, morning, stuff like that, for disabled motorists or other incidents, helping other agencies when they need it.
Yeah, and one thing we've been hearing from rural Metro and Josephine County is that they're seeing a lot of people who are not slowing down and moving over when there's, say, a crash on the shoulder. You guys obviously work a lot on I-5. Have you seen an uptick in that, or are people not aware of the relatively recent law?
I would say that overall, people are educated in that law. Like we discussed earlier, it's been in effect for over a year now. We still get the occasional when they don't pull over and we stop them. They're not aware of it, but I would say overall, people are doing a good job of that. They may not fully understand when they're supposed to move over, but they're moving over and making that space, which makes it safer for everybody.
Good to see you, Sergeant. Thanks
You
for being
too.
here. Appreciate
You bet.
it.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.